Hi everybody, how are you today? Today I wanted to do a review because I have a few decks that are kind of piling up, it seems. So I better plug through them. I'm going to do a review on the Wildwood Tarot. It is by John Matthews and Mark Ryan. And Will Worthington did the artwork. Now, I am a huge fan of the Druidcraft Tarot with Will Worthington's artwork. It's just amazing. So this is what kind of led me to get the Wildwood. Also, the images always really intrigued me. It seemed more shamanic. A little bit more shamanic, I guess you could say. I think that's how you say it. Oh my gosh. But it had more of this like raw nature feel. Like this is as well, but it has more of that druid pagan kind of feel. Whereas the Wildwood has an even more earthy feel to it. It's going even further back. To like living in caves, things like that. Yeah, so, and you'll see too, like this is almost more medieval time period. So yes, but we're not doing Druidcraft, we are doing Wildwood. So the way I like to keep it now, I trimmed my deck. And I'll show you, I found this little beauty. I went on a trip and basically got this tarot deck and I got this crystal. And check that out. Isn't that lovely? So I pair it with the tarot deck. This is copper in its natural form. It's yeah. So it grows on or with malachite. And so that's malachite all in there. And this is just copper all in its natural state. I just thought it was just amazing and what a cool specimen. So I thought I'd pick that up, and it's got quite a bit of weight to it, and it's got like little pieces that kind of are not necessarily too sharp, but like they kind of catch on your finger. So it's really neat. And funny too that I pair it with like something that is more of a raw energy to it. So they go so well. So that's the beauty that stays with my deck. So I'll start with the box first. It comes in this lovely box here. Sorry about the glare. Nice hard kind of covered box. It's the back. When you open it up, it kind of opens up like that. It's kind of different because it has these like tray things, and so it's okay. But for me, like the fact that like the deck was broken up, it really bothered me. I'm gonna be honest. When I got this deck, I was like, it's like you're breaking up one energy form into two pieces. Like it just felt so icky and wrong. I was like, no, it needs to be together. So I know that's really silly, but that was seriously my first reaction when I got this. But when I got this deck, I was like, I don't know how I could possibly store them in here, and so I decided not to. Just while I was on the trip, and then when I got home with the deck, I found new lodgings. The book that comes with it is a nice hefty book, actually. It's got quite a few pages, and it's a fairly large size. Like, let's see, I'll compare Llewellyn. Llewellyn is a little bit thicker, but when I match them up seam to seam, it's a little bit longer. So yeah, thought that was different. It's a little higher on top too. So this book was written by Mark Ryan, and it is 160 pages. The book is okay. I haven't read through all of it, so you know, I'm just at the beginning stages. I'm still technically at the introduction. I have read like up on the individual cards, not all of them yet, but a lot of them. And basically the system of this tarot, it refers to the wheel of the year. So things have completely changed in the sense of a normal order of tarot. Some things are still there, but there's other things that are different. When I first got this deck, I was not happy at all with that. It really threw me off. But now, since I got Dreams of Gaia, it kind of opened me up to the idea of going a little bit further past, you know, your typical Rider-Waite system. Sorry, I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, I hope. It's a good pass. I don't know. The tear is growing. Sorry. If I sneeze, I guess. So here, let's look at the cards. So I trimmed my cards, and I also bordered them with like a silver, I'll get it. It's a silver Sharpie. It says paint Sharpie, and it's like an oil-based paint, I think. Metallic silver. Oil-based, yeah. So I use this. It hacked on, I had to get a new one actually because the first one was really acting up. And so I just took it back. I was like, I'm spending $5 on this pen and it's like wrecking my tarot deck. And so I had to get a new one. And then it started working beautifully. So here they are. I really am happy with this now. And when I first got this deck, I'm not gonna lie, I almost got rid of it like right away. But part of it was the fact that this is the backing. That's why I'm showing it to you. Part of it was the borders. It had white borders on it and it threw me off. I think the backing of the box kind of shows you the original, see there? Yeah. So that I did not like, so. But you can see these are very like natural, primitive almost feeling. You know, you've even got the carvings on the stone, like it's really old world feel. And I put a little bit of a silver gilding around here. I did the edges. And then I did the backs because there's a tiny bit of see this white line down here? There was a bit of it on the sides. So I covered it up with the metallic paint and that way it looks all nice. Okay, let's show you the actual cards. So if you're interested in trimming your deck, then you can have an idea of what it'll look like. So these cards are relatively easy to use because even though it's a different system, they tell you what it is. The bows are fire. Arrows are air. And what else do we got? Vessels are water, I believe. And stones are earth. This was stones. We haven't come to vessels yet, so I'll show you when we do. But you can see they have a key word here. And so that's really kind of helpful. And I kind of wish they did that with the Chrysalis Tarot, because they had keywords in their book, but they didn't actually put them on the card like this. And I think when you change a system, you know, that really helps. It helps a lot for the use of the deck, so you don't have to like memorize all those keywords. So when I had actually gotten the Chrysalis Tarot, I wrote in all those keywords, but I found it really kind of annoying that I had to do that, and I didn't really like it. And yeah. So this is what I mean by like even that shamanic kind of feel. Like that guy just feels really tribal and super earthy. Like there's just so much like in touch with Gaia feel. There's like a raw simplicity as well. Now all the court cards, as you can see here, have they're not all otters, they're all animals. So that's kind of cool too. Versus, you know, your regular Rider-Waite system. There's still people and humanoid type people. Lots of green women, green men kind of feel. But the court cards are all animal personalities. So I love that. I love that aspect of this deck. It's really cool. So as I've trimmed this now and I work with it more, I feel like I'm understanding its energies more. But when I have to admit, like when I first got this deck, I was just almost like I had such a hard time with it. It was so difficult. I had no idea I would have such a struggle with it, because anytime I saw the images, I just loved this deck. It was amazing. So here's the vessels. Yeah. So, you know, if you're interested in getting this deck, know that it might take you a little bit of time to adjust to its primitive energies. Also the guidebook, you know, is a little bit different. It's just different. Everything about it. And you know, maybe part of it too is there's a lot of people who do decks who are women. And this was made all by guys. And not that there's anything wrong with guys, but it's a different energy, right? You have more of that masculine energy. And so I wonder, part of me, I don't know, maybe some of that was also part and parcel to the adjustment period that I needed. But now I love this deck. I'm totally in love with it. So, and it syncs up. The readings are coming through, like they're actually responding now. That was another thing when I first got it. They weren't responding. Everything was just so lost in terms of translation. Like the meanings, it was almost like it was just random pictures, and it's like spirit wasn't working through the deck with me. So it took a while for, in a sense, that transference of energy, I don't know, for communication, because you know, when you look at cards and you can get an image, you can see connection between the cards, a flow. There was no flow for like a few months. And I was like, so that's why I've refrained to, you know, showing you guys the cards. This is one of my favorites. Taken a while for me to, you know, actually do this review, because I wanted to give it an honest chance. And, you know, if I was going to get rid of it, then I'd let you know. But I've decided to keep it. The seal was to, you know, take the borders off, and once I did that, everything changed. So now it's working nice. So that might be something that might help you as well as tuning in. This is also another favorite. Also something to do if you're having a hard time syncing up with decks is trim. You could try trimming it. You know, you spend time with each of those cards for a little bit. It's part of that process. You know, only if you feel like you want to trim the deck. If you don't want those borders off, don't take them off. Just spend time with it. Anyways, looks like we're running out of time. So there we are. That is the Wildwood. I know I didn't show you the book, but you know, it's just your typical kind of stuff. There's keywords, key meanings, you know, reading points, meanings, description. You know, it's just your typical kind of book, and it shows the wheel of the year and how it sinks in. I think there might be a couple spreads in there, and yeah, just kind of basic stuff. All right, talk to you later, guys. Love and light. See ya.